Hi, Troy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, you?
Doing good. Had a long day. How was your day?
Pretty long. It was really busy actually with sports and stuff.
Yeah? What do you do for sports?
Well, I'm a thrower, so
Yes,
I'll
that's
track
right.
team.
On the track team. How's that going?
It's going pretty well. It's my first year. As you know, I'm a freshman. I'm in the learning process. Watching like the seniors throw and just the upperclassmen see how they do, so I can perfect my form.
Look at that. So, for your upcoming meets, do you participate a lot, or is it more like you're saying, like learning?
Since we have relatively a small team, and
Mm-hmm.
our school's pretty small itself, we have about maybe 13 kids on the team, and maybe 5 guys, and majority of them are girls. So
Oh, wow.
we get a lot more chances to participate in meets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of fun. So this coming Friday, we have a meet here.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be held by Monmouth University.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good experience seeing a Division I school at their level.
Yeah. Take notes, right?
Yeah, mental notes.
So when they come, are you actually participating, or
Yeah,
is it
I'm
more...
actually gonna be Georgian Quarters. Maybe 6 to more other schools gonna be coming.
Oh, here on campus.
Yeah.
Ooh, do you know of the other schools by chance?
I don't. But it'll be fun, you know. Get live action. Show them what I got.
Show them, yeah. Throw,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember, I would see you guys like in the gym lifting. That's like serious business.
Gotta keep it serious, you know. Can't go around like majority of the kids in there. No offense, like the lacrosse kids. I don't know what they're doing, but they're gonna get injured one day.
Probably, maybe. I feel
happens.
I feel like it's like the nature of a lot of sports. You kind of butt heads and a lot of crazy things.
Yeah. If only we had a football team here.
I know. Yeah, that would help out and get a lot more hype here and school spirit.
A little bit, sort of. But I think a lot more damage would be done than good.
Oh, on campus?
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
Football players tend to act a lot more stupid. So, I don't know. As its flaws and ups and downs, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, sport. Well, it takes a lot to get involved, and they might be acting a certain way. They're probably still maturing too with that. Well, that being said, kind of going back to knowing that you're first year, can you tell me a little bit about your experience? I know besides being involved in sports, I know you're also involved being a DA, desk assistant.
Yeah.
If you can tell me what else you might be involved in on campus.
There are times where I'll show up to like this one group or activity, LLC. What is that stuff for?
Living Learning Community.
Living Learning Community on Tuesdays, 9 o'clock. I see there sometimes, but I was working today, so I mean, I'm always working on Tuesdays.
Oh,
I'm trying to get more hours, so.
Oh, good. Yeah, get those hours. Get more money.
Yeah. So I also applied to be an RA next year. So.
Oh, you did. Oh, so you're part of the group. You went to the group process last Friday. How was that for you?
It was interesting. They brought up a couple good points and stuff about how to communicate with people in situations, how to get through it. But overall, I think my group did pretty well, and we had evaluations, so I made it past that evaluation.
Good.
And I have an individual meeting this coming Friday. No, Thursday.
This Thursday.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. So with that experience, it sounds like you mentioned part of the evaluation or part of the process of a lot of communication skills. Do you feel like you kind of learned that from your experience being here on campus so far?
I think because this place is really small,
Mm-hmm.
it's a private school, I think it's more forcing to communicate with others because, once again, it's small and there's not much you can do
Mm-hmm.
unless you have a car on campus, which most freshmen usually don't. And if you're fortunate to have one, most kids are just going to other schools. So, I mean, getting to know the kids here is, or just get to understand how the kids are, stuff like that, is definitely a priority.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's definitely big for communication, just to get an understanding of who they are, what type of person they are, how they act, stuff like that.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. Because without talking to anybody, like, how can you really get anywhere in terms of like going to places or getting help with homework or
Mm-hmm.
anything of this nature of being on a college campus?
Yeah.
So that's a good point you brought up with that. Do you feel like you might have had any, concerns so far in terms of communication? Like, ever had any that felt like was interfering with communication, like lack of communication?
Well, for this past semester, I was fortunate enough to get a new teacher. This is her first year, and the biggest thing for her was communication. So it's understandable, it's first year, and knowing how to get across the information she's teaching to the students. That was a big issue. She was all over the place, but when I spoke to her, she started to realize that there were a couple flaws in her methods, and I gave her advice on that. And so far, with her following my advice, it's been helping out a lot in many situations. So.
Oh, besides teaching
Yeah.
in class?
And stuff like that. Just giving out notes and certain test information to help just basically to help us study better.
Yeah.
Instead of her actually giving us, as you could say, a copy of the test without using it in class, as you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like having us find the information ourselves, making us work to absorb the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I think that works for majority of kids. So
it sounds like you have to like take the initiative.
Yeah.
To
Instead
find
of just
out.
giving us the answers, and most kids would just blow it off. Yeah, some kids will actually look at it, but if you actually write down the information, you absorb it better. So.
And with this tactic, do you feel like you find it really useful with your other classes so far?
Yeah, I think so. So, especially as I'm a history major, so it's very helpful. I'm not really good at world history. I love all different.
How do you feel like you might be able to overcome that, or have you been working on that to overcome that challenge?
Participating more, showing a little bit more effort than usual. So I mean, that was always a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
Then it comes down to communication.
Yep. I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's definitely a theme here. Communication is key.
Oh, without a doubt. To get anywhere in life, you need to communicate.
So true. I could tell you many stories, but it's very true. Very true. But you always got to speak up for yourself, and if you don't understand something, no one's going to know that you don't understand unless you verbally say it, you know? And in other ways, too. But at least it sounds like you kind of have an idea of how to go about the challenge that you're facing right now, with what you're studying, do you feel like you might be encountering other possible challenges if you're comfortable, like, disclosing any to me? If you feel like you might have.
No. Well, ever since from a young age, I've had a learning disability.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was always in effect. Having a non-processing issue. So, when it comes to things that I say, to trying to comprehend information when you're trying to talk to me or stuff like that, it's a little harder for me compared to most kids. Yeah, having processing issues, just like I read much slower than most kids. I might say certain things that, like, in my head, I know what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I said the whole sentence,
Mm-hmm.
but actually, I said like half the sentence to you,
Mm-hmm.
and there's one thing, but I can't remember right now.
That's okay.
So.
No worries. So I do recall, I know we've talked a little bit before, last semester, I do remember you mentioning that you have a learning disability. Kind of curious with that.
That's my roommate, yeah, no.
Oh. Anyway. Going back to this, with that being said, having a learning disability, how, I guess to try to formulate my question is, how do you go about, for example, taking a test or, in class where you have to read? I guess what I'm trying to say is this something that while you're in class that your professors are aware about, or is this something that you kind of deal with on your own?
Well, having a learning disability, it has its advantages. So, like, I get extra time on tests. I can't remember anything.
That's okay. I mean,
no, but it just has its advantages all through life. Actually, when it comes to jobs, school, getting into trouble,
getting out of it.
Yeah.
You'd probably be like, oh, I don't remember this. I don't know.
Exactly. It doesn't mean I get into trouble,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, if it does come down to that,
It has,
which
like,
it never
leverages.
will. I mean, it does have leverages on that. So.
I can understand with that. No, I'm glad that you felt comfortable enough to let me know or disclose that to me, because I know it's something that's not easy to talk about. Feel like people may or may not understand. Kind of going off of that, do you feel like that has impacted your experience here at all in college?
A little bit. Like, for me, I'm the type of person who will tell you the truth, no matter how harsh it is. And I feel like it's more of my personality than my processing issue. Because, I mean, I get it mostly from my mom. To be honest, I mean, my mom's the same way, like, but she's worse.
Once? Really? No.
But I've lost a couple friends, but I mean, if they can't handle the truth, then so be it. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. Just move on,
Yeah.
And if they can't handle the truth, It's their problem.
Exactly.
I'm just telling you how it is. So I'd rather not lie to their faces than just to tell a lie.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right. Because, you know, life is short, and, you know, you're being a good person about that. And it's just a matter of whether they respect it or they feel like they're ready to accept, you know, that, you know, the truth in that way. But it's such a cliche term to say, or phrase, that everything does happen for a reason. And, you know, along the way right now, you feel like you may have lost some people. You're going to gain more strength out of that, if that makes sense. You know, you might feel, I could be wrong. You might feel a certain way, you might feel like sad about it or any not positive emotions about it, but it's kind of more of like a learning experience in a way.
And also, it does come down to how you say certain things.
Oh, yeah.
That is probably another reason why I probably not friends.
Well, you know, at least you're trying to communicate, and that's something I think we can take from this conversation, is that it's really important to talk. You know, not everyone's perfect in how they communicate their feelings or their thoughts, but at least something was said, you know. And it's still a work in progress for everyone. Like, for me, I'm not always perfect at explaining myself, or I might say something and it comes off differently than what I wanted it to. But in the end, that as long as people continue to communicate what they are trying to express, you know, the issues should kind of go away or be solved, if you will. You know, like that. But I'm glad we kind of got to know each other a little bit, or got to know you a little bit better with, you know, being a first year, and happy to see that you seem to be, you know, busy and kind of taking advantage of the opportunities here and trying to be an RA. I hope you become an RA. I feel like you're going to be great in that role.
Hopefully I get it. I mean, if I don't, then I'll just try again next year. But, you know, not everyone gets it, so.
That's true.
Gotta work for it.
Exactly. I think you will.